Hello friends. Do you feel horrible about your poor test results and your poor grade in class? That embarrassment is common. You performed poorly on a test and are now certain that you are a failure and will never amount to anything. In its milder forms of shyness and humility, shame is not always a bad emotion, but toxic shame undermines self-esteem and feeds the anxious and depressive feelings. Toxic shame affects everyone, but it especially affects victims of abuse and trauma. Toxic shame, in contrast to guilt, makes a person feel as though change is not possible. Guilt inspires people to change their conduct. According to Rachel, a licensed professional psychotherapist, the accumulation of these poisonous shame feelings eventually results in depression based on shame. Here are 5 indicators that toxic shame is present. They have to deal with me as a burden. When you have depression based on shame, you frequently avoid connections. Your inner critic constantly evaluates and criticizes you, accusing you of being unworthy. You hold back from being your authentic self or soliciting emotional support because you fear upsetting others and making them bored of you. According to studies published in the Annual Review of Psychology, shame causes people to run and hide, sometimes even going so far as to entirely cut themselves off from the outside world. Because you believe you are not deserving of happiness, you deliberately try to prevent yourself from experiencing it. I have to make up for mistakes I didn't make. What took place was my fault. I'm solely to blame. Depression based on shame makes you internalize everything that occurs. You blame yourself for things you cannot control and even apologize for things that were not your fault. Shame is linked to this emotional distress, according to a 2016 study that was published in the Journal of Psychology. You frequently keep your feelings and thoughts to yourself. In an effort to keep things on track and make the situation better, you can avoid stating your views in this way. You try to make up for feelings of unworthiness by being incredibly kind and charming to others. These simply provide short-term relief and ultimately worsen the situation. Feeling worthless and anxious are frequent side effects of depression based on shame. You feel powerless when you are aware of the tasks you need to perform but are unable to complete them. You have shame anxiety, a crippling and enduring fear of being categorized, stigmatized, and rejected by others. According to study findings in the Journal of Clinical Psychology and Psychotherapy, codependency, anxiety, and depression can all have a connection to shame. Nearly half of those with a depression diagnosis also have an anxiety diagnosis. Depression based on shame prevents you practically from taking chances. This is an effort to protect oneself from being undervalued by others. A study published in the Journal of Psychological and Cognitive Sciences found that when you experience shame-based depression, you prevent yourself from making choices that can cause others to disapprove of you even more. According to counselor, depressive people's low self-esteem causes them to fear further rejection or failure. Therefore, even when you think about trying something, you hold back out of concern that you won't do it properly or won't be accepted. However, there are situations when doing so results in avoiding healthy hazards. You only choose professions, partners, and educational options those you are confident will be successful. Thinking that I am a bad person, not that I done something bad. According to author Brené Brown, guilt is the ability to acknowledge wrongdoing and move past it without having it become a defect or failing. When you associate the behavior with your identity, you experience shame. Being human, we all make mistakes. Because you believe you are a bad person and are unable to succeed when you have shame-based sadness, you frequently give up. Because you don't think change or healing are possible, you maintain your belief that you are unworthy of love. The first step in overcoming shame-based sadness is to recognize these harmful shame feelings. It will take time and practice to challenge them. Compassionate self-care can help you overcome harmful shame. You do not need to experience this alone. You can take additional measures to overcome shame-based depression by learning coping skills with the assistance of a mental health professional. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your loved ones. We value your support and can't wait to bring you more informative content in the future. Kindly subscribe and turn on the notification button so that you don't miss out our new videos. Take care, and we'll see you soon.